Hi everyone, and welcome to an episode of Layers of Healing, the podcast where we talk about everything nobody talks about. And especially today, it will be a spicy episode because we talk about lust and celibacy, like what we do when we feel lust, and also the trials that come with celibacy and the loneliness you feel on the way. We will talk about everything what I've been through. I will refer to some Bible passages that may help you in your journey. And also, if you haven't watched the podcast episode I did on this with Kayla, go listen to that as well, because she's been celibate her whole life and she gave you guys like a good manual and guidance on how to be celibate and how to start this journey. It's exciting, scary, and now I'm just talking about my experiences and what trials I entered and how I overcome that. So thank you guys for tuning in and listening. I'd say let's hop right in. So you guys, as you know, I decided to be celibate a few months ago, let's say 4 months-ish. And I did not know how my life changes, because it changes so much. And like I already talked in the episode, if you missed the episode with Kayla where we talked about, okay, what does it mean to live celibate? Where are the boundaries with dating? Where do I say this is too much or not? Or what are other people saying and feeling, and why did I decide to become celibate? If you're interested in that, listen to our podcast episode about this. And today I really want to touch on a point what we haven't talked about that much, which is the loneliness that also follows celibacy and also the trials you go through, because who am I even kidding? We are human and we are lustful creatures. And the past few months were quite a journey for me, also dating-wise, because I've had men in my life. I've had them in my life for a longer time, but in the past few weeks, especially when I'm back in Germany, I was just like, I would have dated you if I wouldn't have found to God. Like, you would be someone I would definitely date because I really like you, but I don't believe that you'll be okay with being celibate and therefore you're not my man. Accepting that not every earthly man is for you. And now when you were someone who I was, because I was thinking with not being celibate, I never found a man. So now I'm filtering even more. That makes my ratio of men available less than ever. It comes with a lot of fear of being alone forever, of being, just a lonely woman who doesn't have sex and has cats. That's like a cat lady. Some of my friends were like asking me, when will be the time when I become a cat lady? And to be honest, I don't think first of all, I'm not a big fan of cats, and I'm sorry. But the second thing is, I don't believe that I'm supposed to be alone. I believe, and that also comes with the decision of being celibate. I mean, in an earthly world, when I didn't came to my belief, I would never thought of being celibate. When I decided to follow Jesus and follow God, I was like, I will follow everything, Lord. I will do everything except the sex thing. I'm doing everything except this because I cannot resist this. This is so important in my life and I cannot live without it. Yeah, this is also not me talking, but the society who tells you that this is a crucial part of life. And yes, it's a crucial part of life. That's how we repopulate the earth. When you decide to be celibate, which is godly and heavenly, you should also know that he will provide your husband, and the Lord will provide your husband in any way. He will send him to you when you're ready, and he will shape you. If you pray for him making you the wife he needs you to be to meet your husband, you will go through trials. I'm struggling because what it comes with, and what we also talked about in the podcast episode with Kayla, is, okay, where are the boundaries with being celibate with my partner when we're dating? And she said it's for her every lustful moment. So when you feel lust, you just surrender and you don't go any further. So it made me think, okay, lust is flesh. Lust is something earthly. It's human, but I'm really trying to not let lust control myself, and my spirit is higher than the lust. I've got tested, And especially with this guy, I was like, oh, yeah, I would have dated him, but I won't date him now. And I experienced lust because I haven't had sex also in a long time. My body was like, where is it? There was something in our life that made us happy, and where is it now? And most of the time it was happy, let's say. If I had sex with the right person and not with someone I, hook up with, basically, and I felt empty after that. I felt lust. And I remember 3 times I was laying in bed. Oh my gosh. This is horrible. I was so close to self-pleasure. Also 2 times I really couldn't help it. It happened because I was so overwhelmed with my flesh. Sometimes I talk with my girls and we're just like, when you're kissing and then I can't hold myself. And we all know that feeling. You cannot hold yourself because your flesh is taking over. And I had that the 2 times where I really tried to give it away and not do it. I felt so bad after for leading into temptation, but at the same time, give myself grace. Yesterday, I felt lust. I knew in that moment that I've been tested. I knew that this is God's way of leading me into temptation, so I learn how to control the lust and not let the lust control me. Because if I'm going to meet my husband and we're dating and we're not married yet, I have to be able to control my lust. Because if I can't control my lust, then this will be a disaster. So I know that I have to learn to control and be stronger than the lust in my flesh. And I really feel like he tempted me a lot in the past few weeks. And yesterday it was, I'm not even kidding, it was the hardest thing I ever did in my faith journey. Because I was so lusting. Let's say lusting. I don't really like the word horny. Horny is just, But I was feeling so much lust and I got visions in my head. I really felt like I don't even have to touch or do anything and I'll just finish because it was so strong. And I was talking to myself the time, and not dirty talk, you guys. I was praying hard. God, take this away from me. I surrender that. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. This is not, I'm stronger than my lust. And then I slipped a little bit and I felt like my flesh was taking over my body. And I was like, no, we're stronger than this. And I kid you not, 20 minutes I tried not to touch myself. It was so hard, but I had voices in my head. One voice was practically telling me, just do it. He will forgive you. Maybe you need to get it out of your system. It's not that bad. You're not even doing it with someone else. You're in your own energy. Just do it. It's not bad. It's human. And the other voice in my head was just like, Saskia, you have to learn to control your lust so I can deliver your husband to you, because I won't do it if you cannot control your lust. And just, I know you can do it. And if one of you ever experienced this, going this journey with God and just also fighting your flesh, it's freaking hard. But I ended up not doing anything. And then I slept and I woke up this morning. I was so proud of myself. Whoa, that is... For some people, they might think I'm crazy now. She's weird. But it really deepens my faith. And I just feel so proud of myself to not giving into that lust and knowing that my spirit is stronger than any flesh. And this was such a huge step for me yesterday. So a lot of people think being celibate is just, oh, you're not sleeping with someone until marriage. Yes, but it's so much more and it's so much harder than people think, because they always give into their nudges. They always give into their flesh. So they don't really care or know what it really means to fight against your flesh and be stronger in spirit. Yeah, that's also a road I was on. I was questioning my own sanity. Am I making that much drama of something right now? Or is it really something I need to do and I have to control and work on and fight for, that my spirit gets stronger and I also draw closer to God? The trials are real, but I have to say I feel very, very good, even if I should have felt unsatisfied. I'm excited to see how many more of those trials I have to go through. It's not fun, and I think it's even worse when you're dating someone and they're practically laying beside you and they also have to control their flesh. So I just pray that my husband is already a pro in this and can guide me. Yeah, it's a process. Everybody who goes on this celibate journey also has to go through this flesh thing. It's crazy. And then at the same time, it's the trials, it's the loneliness, it's the questioning, it's the hoping, it's the praying for your husband and praying that you're strong and praying that you don't get lead into temptation and that he will deliver you from evil. I always come back to the word, and I know he's with me, and I know the Lord will deliver my husband. And I put so much hope in him that I'm honoring my body and I'm honoring him, and I praise him by honoring his creation and his design for sex, that I'm pretty sure that he will send me my person. Yeah, so when I was on the urge of, okay, to be honest, I'm doing everything but the celibacy thing, I was remembering one story in the Bible, and it said there was a wedding banquet. This guy invites some people to the banquet, and everybody's finding ways to tell him they can't come. And then it's already prepared, and he's like, okay, then just invite everyone from the streets, and everyone is welcome. And then everyone gathers at his house, and he provides everything, clothes and food and music. And there's one guy who doesn't wear the clothes he provides. And he was going to that guy, and he said, why are you not wearing the clothes I provide for you? And he's like, no, I'm wearing my own clothes. Then he threw him out, saying, feed him to the dogs? I don't know, something like this. But the main point I take away from this parable is, for me, God provides everything. He gives you, the whole Bible is a manual. The whole Bible is a manual how you can live life and be happy and also work with him and walk with him. If you just pick your pieces and you like design your own way of living with God and do what you think and what you want, for example, decide also not to be celibate, being Christian. I know there are a lot of Christians who are not celibate, and that's okay. I'm not judging. It's just I'm talking from my point of view and my perspective on this and why I decided to be celibate. Because if you're not doing everything, you're not really walking with God. Like, you can, but it's different. And when you decide to walk fully with God and be clothed fully in God, he really does miracles and wonders in your life. And he shows up amazingly also in my life. Yesterday, I saw him in so much detail. Like, he's about the details. I will just quickly tell you what happened yesterday, because the whole day was so spiritual led, because it started with me praying 2 days ago that I need to have him near, because I'm going through an episode of my life which is hard for me. I'm going through the wilderness, and I prayed for him to be close to me and clothe me in his love, because I need to feel him, especially in the next 2 days. I got back to Cologne, so I left the house of my parents, and as soon as I exited the street, a friend of my dad pulled up next to me, and I was like, oh, how funny. But he just waved, and I was walking to the train station, 20 minutes-ish, and I was thinking, oh, how funny would it be if the friend of my dad would just bring me to the train station. And then he, practically in this moment, he drove out of the street, and then he stopped, rolled down his window, and he's like, oh, do you want me to take you downstairs to the train station? What? I decided not to go in because I really love to have the walk and I had enough time. But I saw God provide, like he was providing. And with every train or tram I took yesterday, I didn't even look when the tram or train is coming. And sometimes in Cologne, especially in the evening time, it will take like up to 30 to 60 minutes between the trains. And always when I came to the train station, the train came immediately. And also when I came to Cologne and I had to go home, I went to a city train. As soon as I entered the train station, it says, train delayed by 10 minutes. So it's arriving in 3 minutes. And that was my train. I was like, the train's 10 minutes delayed, so I can still make the train and don't have to wait for 20 minutes. He is so good. He is in such a detail. I really saw and felt him yesterday. So it's also in the small things, how he shows up. And regarding the loneliness, I've been like scratching this part a little bit, because yes, you are alone, obviously, when you're not dating anyone. But I don't feel like you always feel loneliness, because yes, I'm alone. Earthly wise, I'm alone. I'm single. But when I walk with God, I never feel like I'm lonely, because I know he's there and he's providing trusting that my man will come really cancels out the loneliness a little bit for me. But whenever I feel lonely, to be honest, I pray and I open up my Bible and I go to the Word. And it says so many times in the Bible, "For I am with you, do not fear." Also, I heard amazing testimonies from my friends where they're like asking for a butterfly in their situation because they just want to see a sign. And then they were praying and heard something on their curtains. And then there was a butterfly on their curtain. And it was just sitting there. And they were asking for a butterfly as a sign if he's there. And it's a beautiful journey, but also a testing journey. You have to be aware that if it would be easy, a lot of people would do it. And people will hate you for it. And people will mock you for it. So my friends, when I tell them I'm celibate now, they have so many questions. But like, interesting. Oh, wow, I could never do that. And especially if they have their boyfriends, they're like, oh yeah, but I don't need to do that because I have my boyfriend already. Because celibacy is also protecting us from just giving men our body without them honoring us and doing a soul tie with someone who practically doesn't care about us. And I've had those soul ties a lot. I have to really let myself be freed from those soul ties I bound myself with in the past. And especially they're like, oh, but I don't need that protection anymore. But it's not only that it's protecting you from men, it's also such a intimate thing that binds two souls and is the most emotional bonding and intimate bonding you can do with a person. I don't really know how it is when you already have a boyfriend and then you find God. I think I should really pray about this. Sometimes I'm also freaked out about, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have sex or self-pleasure until I'm married. And I haven't had a boyfriend in 27 years, like my whole life. Oh, I lied. I had a boyfriend when I was 12 for 30 minutes. And fun fact, I was in high school and he fancied me and he brought me a rose and had like a little paper on it asking me out, like, do you want to be with me? Yes, no, maybe. And I crossed in yes because I was so excited. But then at the next part, I felt so trapped. I was like, I cannot do that. I feel like I lose all my freedom with 12. I felt so trapped. And then I made my best friend at that time break up with him for me. And I never talked to him that much ever since. Tom, if you're seeing this, I hope you're okay. What I wanted to say about being lonely, I think you're feeling lonely because you're not trusting God. You're feeling lonely because you don't fully think that he delivers. And you believe he fails. You believe he fails you, and he will never fail. He will never forsake you, and he's with you. And he will deliver the man for you. And it's always his plans. Jeremiah 29:11. He has plans to prosper you and not to harm you. If you seek him with all your heart, he will let you find him. Not quoting, but just saying what it says. Luke 18:29. Truly I say to you, those who have left their wife, their parents, their house, their children, their brothers, for the sake of the kingdom, there is no one who never received hundredfold back and the age of eternal life. I do believe you believe in God when you're listening to this about celibacy and loneliness. And I feel like when you're on this celibate journey, just know that everyone's struggling with the same thing. I told you my lust story, not because I want to embarrass myself. Normally, we don't talk about those things. Sex is such a normal thing, but lust and self-pleasure is kind of frowned upon sometimes. In Germany it is. But it's also part of celibacy, discovering your faith and your bond in Jesus. What I want to leave you with is a little summary of, if you feel lonely in your celibate journey, one thing, no, you're not alone, because I'm also going through that. And I know that some women are also, so you're not alone in this. If you feel like you're failing God or you're giving into your flesh sometimes and you're self-pleasuring or you are not that strong as you wish, pray for it. He will give you the strength in your spirit, and it's a journey. I think we also learn to control our flesh by also slipping sometimes. For my part, in the beginning when I slipped, I was so mad at myself. I felt so guilty. Oh my gosh, he's going to abandon me and forsake me, and he will never. And also one of my spiritual mentors the other day, I was like, and I have to read the Bible 2 times a day for 3 hours, and I have to worship every day. And she looked at me and she's like, Saskia, you cannot do anything to make him love you more. You cannot do anything to make him love you less. Let that sink in. He just loves you the same amount, like so much, whatever you do. Whatever you do. But he's guiding you. When you're sad, he's sad. When you're in hurt, he sits with you and he feels your hurt too. That's also what I learned from The Chosen. If you haven't seen The Chosen, you should watch it. I'm not paid to say this. The Jonathan Jesus really shows good emotions on how God really also loves us. He would never want you to be unsatisfied, and he would never want you to feel alone. But sometimes you have to go through those seasons to learn how to control your lust, to learn how to be alone, to grow closer to him. I think when my husband is coming into my life, I really have to be rooted with God. Nothing can shake me. And I feel like I'm there, but also the lust can't shake me. And maybe I'm not ready yet, but he's forming me every day to be ready. And I know when I am that he will deliver, and my husband will be ready too. I'm looking so much forward to talk with him about this, because I do believe he's also going through his trials right now and struggling. It's the same when you have, I don't know, a new friend, and then all of a sudden you have another new friend, and then you can concentrate on the first one because you're so into the new one. And when I meet my husband, you guys, I will be overexcited. I will love the hell out of this man. I will love the hell out of this man, and I'll be obsessed with him, and he will be obsessed with me in a healthy way. I think God knows this, and he's like, first come to me, first be rooted in me, and then he can come into your life. Be patient. Be still. Listen to what God is telling you. He will tell you if you pray about it. Don't let yourself be fooled by temptation. I really hope I answered some of your celibacy questions and you feel seen in the process. It's very common to go through struggles when you're going to be celibate. You're set apart for a reason. This was this week's episode, everyone. Thank you for listening, and I wish you a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.